Good day everyone, and welcome back to DIY Devin. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you got one of these warnings on either your Ford Edge or Lincoln MKX. The good news is most of the time it's one of two things. Either you actually have low engine oil pressure because you have low engine oil, or your sensor for your engine pressure is bad. I personally did a lot of research before making this video. I wouldn't say it's a super simple repair, but I've tried to simplify it as much as possible, and as long as you're at least a little bit mechanically inclined, I think you'll be able to follow along and fix it just fine. Well, let's jump in. The first thing you're going to do is remove this little plastic nut and washer, and I like to put them inside something such as a grip mat. I have my grip mat right here. I'm going to actually put it up next to the air filter so it's out of the way. A lot of people take off the cooling hoses, the intake, but you don't need to do any of that. I figured it out, did just fine without doing any of that. So we're going to remove the oil cap now, get that out of the way so we can get this top off. Remember to remove that washer that goes right here, otherwise it's going to fall on the ground like it did with me, and that's no bueno. So now you're just going to kind of lift up this top right here. You kind of got to jimmy rig it around. And then once you get it up, you're going to want to just find something to prop this up just so it's out of your way and it doesn't fall down. So I actually use this hanger from my daughter's closet. Really anything will work. Make sure you put the oil cap back on so you don't accidentally drop anything down there. You don't want to have to deal with that, trust me. So the sensor we're looking at is actually down there. You can't really see it from this angle, but we'll be able to see it in a minute. We're going to remove this heat shield off to the right here of this cable. Right here you can see I've removed it. It's just 3 bolts right here. And make sure you unplug that sensor that goes through the shield as well. Now I'm going to go down in here and you can see where I've unplugged the sensor. So you're going to reach down, just pull that tab back. And as you can see there's oil in it. That's not what you want. That's a good sign telling you it's bad. Now to get the rest of the sensor out, you're going to want to use a 22mm deep socket. I have a few adapters on here to make it go down in there easier. You're going to get it down there and unscrew it. And here is the old sensor. As you can tell, it's very worn and definitely need to be replaced. And I'm just going to set it right here for now and grab the new one out to show you what the new one looks like. And on the new one, you just want to get your hand down there and actually hand tighten it as much as possible before you get the 22mm socket down there. And I'm actually going to switch out my gloves to keep it as clean as possible. You're going to want to hand tighten that sensor in there and then plug it back in. And once you get that in, you're going to want to put this shield back on. It's just the 3 bolts again that we talked about earlier. And make sure you plug this sensor back in. If you don't, you will get a check engine light. Now we're going to remove the oil cap again and put this cover back on the engine. Just snap it in the way you took it off. You're going to want to make sure this goes over the bolt right there so you can put the nut and washer back on. And also make sure you put your oil cap back on as well. I'm going to switch this around so it's right side up because some of you are going to comment. I know you will. And there's the washer, and now we're going to screw that nut on just snug, and there you go. We're done.